Pray.
प्रणवो पवन कुमार कलबन पावक ज्ञान धन जासु हृदयागा बस ही राम सरचापधम अतुलित बलधाम हेमशैलापदेहं धनुजवन कृशानं ज्ञानिनामाग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामदेशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि गोष्पदे कृतवादेशं मसके कृतराक्षसं रामाय नमः मालारत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्ता वन्दे लङ्काभयं करम् उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धु सलिलं सलीलं यः शोकवहि जनकात्मजायाः आजानते नैव ददाह लङ्का नमामि तं प्राञ्जन्याजलेयं मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयोत्तमोक्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये ॐ श्री हनुमते नमः ॐ श्री हनुमते नमः श्री गुरुचरण सरोज रज निजमन मुकुर सुधार वर्णौ रघुवर विमल जसु जोदायक पलता बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहो मोहि हरु कलेश विकार। और तो कहता पवन सुत हनुमान की जय हो। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूता तुलसी बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी सजन वरन विराज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुचल महावीर बलवंता जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता पवन पुत्र हनुमान। और क्या तो बोलिए हाथ वस्त्र और ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मुंज जले अवतार शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बस महावीर बलवंता जय हनुमान महावीर महावीर बलवंता पवन पुत्र हनुमान। एवरीबॉडी बोलिए जय बजरंगबली। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाई, वीर रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए। जगत कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता पवन पुत्र हनुमान। Together, boom. जय हो ग्लोरीज तो बजरंगबली। सहस वदन तुम रोज सगावे, अस गए श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद शारद सहित अहिसा। यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि को वेद कह सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता पवन पुत्र हनुमान। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानो। प्रभो मोद्रिका मिल मुख माही, सरदिलांगे गए अचरज नाई। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, शुभ अनुग्रह तुम्हारे ते। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता पवन पुत्र हनुमान। जय श्री राम। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, उतना आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुतला है तुम्हारे शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। तेज समारो वापै, तीनों लोक हांकते कापै। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर महावीर जब नाम सुनावै। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता पवन पुत्र हनुमान। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। नासै रोग हरय सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीर। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावै, मरकम वचन ध्यान जो लावै। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, इनके काज सकल तुम साज। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता पवन पुत्र हनुमान। जय श्री राम। चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है परसिद्ध जगत उजियार। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, सवर दिन जान के माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दशा। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता पवन पुत्र हनुमान। सबको प्यारी प्रेम से समापति महादेव की जय। वृंदावन में हरिलाल की जय। Let us all stand as you both now join in beautiful Shri Hanumanji Aarti. Om श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की। दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की। दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की। दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। जाके बल से गिरिवर कापे। मृग दोष जाके निकट न जाके। जय श्री राम। जाके बल से गिरिवर कापे। मृग दोष जाके निकट न जाके। अंजनी 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 पुत्र महाबलदाई। जतन के प्रभु सदा सहाये। देवीरा देवीरा रघुनाथ पताए। लंका जारी सिया सुधिलाए। देवीरा रघुनाथ पताए। लंका जारी सिया सुधिलाए। लंका से समुद्र से खाए। जात पवन सुत पार न लाए। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। लक्ष्मण मूर्छित परे सकारे। आनि संजीवन आनि संजीवन आनि संजीवन आनि संजीवन प्राण प्यारे। लक्ष्मण मूर्छित परे सकारे। आनि संजीवन प्राण उबारे। कैती हो कैती बता तोरे जमकारी। अहि रावण के पूजा उचारे। सुन नर मुनि आरती उतारे। जय 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 हनुमान उचारे। सुन नर मुनि आरती उतारे। जय 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 हनुमान उचारे। कंचन पूरनाचाई। आरती करत अंजना माये। जय बजरंगबली। जय 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 हनुमान। हनुमान 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 हनुमान। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, बजरंग बली की। आसन लीजिए सब लोग, let's all take our seats. As we begin this beautiful night once more, the second night of our wonderful 5 nights of devotion to Lord Hanuman ji, we say आपको स्वागतम, नमस्कार करता हूँ. Special Jai Sitaram to each and everyone. On behalf of myself and the members of the Celestial Gandharvas, once more we take this golden opportunity to join in devotion to Pavanaputra, to all our bhaktas, to all devotees who have come from far and near to join with us. A special welcome and Jai Sitaram. We begin our night firstly by welcoming my wonderful mother who is here with us tonight. We say Swagatam and blessings to her. Tonight to the devotees of the various mandirs who are here, to Bhaiji Rishi, to Veera Didi, to the members of the Lachush Road Shiv Mandir, we say Swagatam and Namaskar. To the devotees who have come to join with us to worship Mahaviri Swami in his names, his glories and his wonderful forms, we welcome each and everyone. To those who are locked on via Sankhya television, we say Aapko Swagatam or Namaskar. As we begin this divine night, without further ado, let us all sit upright. Let us close our eyes. Let us join in prayer as we forget the entire world and we say, Lord, everything in your hands at this moment. Everything by your grace and your mercy and your compassion, as we take a moment to dwell within the energies of the atmosphere that is filled with you. Om Shri Hanumati Namaha. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दुर्गारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु सरस्वतीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगंबराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसा वा पराधा विहितं विहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो। शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले। तो लॉर्ड हनुमान जी we pray, चरण शरण में आई के घर तिहार राजा, कष्टों से रक्षा करो, कष्टों से रक्षा करो, पावन पुत्र हनुमान। हाथ जोर विनती करो, सुनो वीर हनुमान। संकट से रक्षा करो, संकट से रक्षा करो, हे अंजनी के लाल पवन पुत्र हनुमान। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर वर्ण रघुवर विमल जसु जोदायक पालचार। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरा पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। पवन सुत हनुमान की। बजरंग बली 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 बजरंग बली। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूता तुलित बलधामा अंजन पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। वीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवास सुमति के संगी। कंचन वरण विराज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराज कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजै। शंकर सुमन केसरी नंदन प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान अति साधु राम काज करबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली हो बजरंग बली। सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए, रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई, सहस वदन तुम रोज सगावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, संकातिक ब्रह्मादि मनीषा, नारद शारद सकहि सायं, कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहते, मोह पुकार सुग्रीव कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा, बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली। जय बजरंग बली। Glory is to our Lord. विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय, सब जग जान युग सहस्त्र योजन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानो, प्रभु मुद्रिका मिल मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए चर जनाहि, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे देते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, राजा बिन पैसारे, सब सकल है तुम्हारी शरण, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन ते तुम्हारो आए, तीनहु लोक कांपते कांपे, भूत पिशाच कट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, बजरंग बली 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 बोले। हनुमान चलावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम बसवे राजा, तिनके के काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन पद पावे, चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नव नित्य के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे दासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली बजरंग बली। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाए, राजन हरि भक्त कहाए, और देवता चित्त न जाए, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करे, सकट काटे मिटे सब पीरा, दुष्मिर हनुमत बलबीरा, जय 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 हनुमान बसाए, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई, दुष्ट बार पात कर होय, चूके बंदी महासुर होय, जय पर हनुमान चालीसा, कोई सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा, तुलसीदास जान तेरा, की जय ना हृदय महावीरा, बजरंग बली 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 बजरंग बजरंग बली पवन तनय संकट हरना मंगल मूर्ति राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसो सुरभो पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बजरंग बली की. On this beautiful night, we have gathered united as one family to create the energy of the beautiful quotation that says, the family that prays together stays together. As we begin this night in devotion, we continue with our wonderful message as we would have stopped last night in the Sri Hanuman Ank and the Sri Hanuman Charitramanas. Prabhu Ramachandra, in the forested region, he has retrieved Sita Devi, and after finding Sita Mata, he is making his way back to Ayodhya. He shows the mother all the stops that he had made and where he had stopped, and the ashrams and the Rishamukh Parvat, Nandigram, the rivers that he would have crossed. And we continue our message tonight. But today is a day that is getting dedicated to the Mahar form of Prabhu Ramachandra. It is said Lord Rama is an incarnation of the Dash avatar, which is Prabhu Vishnu Bhagavan. As we begin the night, it is said another avatar is that of Bhagavan Gopal. We're about to do one of the most popular chants that many of us would know, Jai Radha Madhava. And while we invite everybody to sing along and to clap and to take part, tonight, it is not about the people around you. It is not about your job or your home or what is taking place in your life. Bhagavan Krishna says, let go of the burdens of the world and dedicate yourself to Him. And tonight we will forget the entire world, everything in existence. Close your eyes if you must. Look at the beautiful form of Bajranga Bali if you must. Focus your thoughts on Pavanaputra and sing for that divine Lord. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Girivardhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunjavi Hari. Everybody boliye, sabko pyari. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunjavi Hari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yamuna तीरा वनचारी जय गिरिवर धारी जय राधा माधव जय हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Everybody bole, Jai Gosine. Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Prajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Prajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira, Yamuna Tira, Yamuna Tira, Vanajari, Yamuna Tira, Vanajari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Uja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Uja Vihari. Everybody boliye, Jaya Radha Madhava, Uja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Uja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Giridharadhari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Giridharadhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Giridharadhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Giridharadhari. Everybody, Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari. एक बार बोलिए, जय राधा माधवा. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama. क्या बात है, राम राम हरे. वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की. A beautiful katha begins tonight. While you all were singing just now, I just remembered something from the message. I will tell you in a few seconds. Our katha begins tonight where Prabhu Ramachandra, he will return to Ayodhya. He would have left Lanka, and for the entire night, last night, we spoke of the journey of Prabhu Ramachandra along with Sita Devi, Lakshmana. They had stopped at Rameshwaram. They had stopped at the lingam of Lord Hanumanji. They had then followed that path And Prabhu Ramachandra shows Devi Sita, this is where the kutia was, where you were abducted. This is where the birds were. This is where Jatayu was. This is where the kutia of Shabari Maya was. Jat, Pat, Kul or Dharma Barayi we spoke of last night. Prabhu Shri Ramachandra never segregates people in the world. He never chooses or picks and chooses anyone. As long as your heart is pure, no matter who you are, wherever you are in this world, with a pure heart, He will accept you. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much money you don't have, how big your house is, how small it is, what kind of vehicle you have, what kind of job, what kind of status you have. He says, Bal kutumbi buddhi se mata hai. No matter what you have in the world, it doesn't matter. Do you remember this line that goes like this? Chutti jaye sansar ekadina chutti jaye sansar. The verse is Raja ranka ko काल नहीं चीन्हता राजा रंग को काल नहीं चीन्हता सबका करता आहार एक दिना चुत्ती जाए संसार राजा रंग को काल नहीं चीन्हता. He says whether you are king or whether you have nothing, when the time comes and I need to now take you out of the world, I will judge you by your heart, the love that you have for me, the capacity of love that you've shown me throughout your lifetime. And I will bring you to Vaikunt if I must. While Prabhu Ramachandra is now heading back to Ayodhya, scripture says at this time, Bharata had met Lord Hanumanji. Hanumanji tested Bharata last night to see how strong-minded he was when it came to God. How strong-minded are you when it comes to God? In today's world, do you know what happens? We put aside every single thing in the world, even God, for things that do not matter, or things that are not most importance. And when it comes to God, we put Him aside. When in fact, we should be doing the opposite. Half of the problems we see in today's world is that it is said in many scriptures, the moment the mind is relieved of the thought of God, the problem steps in, the troubles of the world step in, only to remind us how to be pulled back to the feet of the Almighty. Tonight, Bhaktas, while worshipping our Lord, Sri Hanumanji tested Bharata. And after Bharata has passed his test, he will not listen negativity when it comes to Sri Rama. Lord Hanumanji turns around. He transforms himself into that Bajranga Bali. And he says, I will give you a word and a promise. Lord Ram is coming in your direction. Tonight, to all the devotees who sacrificed last night and tonight to be here, if I tell you before the end of the yajna, Prabhu Shri Ramachandra will enter the yajna, what will you think and what will you say? If you know and you can feel the energy in the atmosphere that the Lord will enter at some point, what will you feel and what will you think? When Bharata realized that God was about to come, Prabhu Ram was about to return, he says, Lord Hanumanji, and he put his hands together. Mahavir Swami, you've brought the best news to me. And being that you've brought the best news to me, I will take this news that you've given me, I will share it to everybody in Ayodhya. Let them know that after 14 years, Prabhu Rama will return. A city, a village that seemed to be dead for 14 years. It is said they lived in a dim light. People came out and there was no smile. There was no joy. There was no contentment. There was nothing to laugh about. There was nothing to feel. There was no aura to feel. You know, sometimes people don't need to speak, you know. Sometimes you could go in a room and there could be somebody there and you just have to sit there. There can be a few people there and you just have to sit there and you feel totally comfortable. You feel an energy as though you've known people for so long and you just feel comfortable. Whereas you can sit amidst people. You don't need to speak, but you feel the energy that tells you, hey, get up and leave from here fast. Right? You feel somewhat unwanted, not to be there. Something probably is awkward or strange. There are different energies. Create an energy within yourself that wherever you walk, people will surround you with love and with divinity. As scripture speaks tonight, it tells us according to the Sri Hanuman Ank,
When Bharata heard that Prabhu Ram is about to come back from 14 years, the entire city of Ayodhya, it gained life once more. They started to decorate everywhere. They started to fill the streets with lamps and diyas. It is said they started to fill the streets with decorations. The people of Ayodhya, they started to dress themselves. They started to dress beautiful to welcome the Lord. They dressed, my friends, the best for God, because God was about to return. You know, I feel so happy just to be here tonight. It is not about who came and who didn't come. I feel so happy just to sit here and sing the glories of God. Just to be a part of feeling the energy of the Divine Master. Why? Because when I sit at the feet of this beautiful Lord Hanumanji, remember at the end of the night, you can go and you can walk around, perform your pradakshina, you can make offerings. When Ayodhya realized that Sri Ram was coming, everybody dressed up. Everybody dressed themselves. Do you know, long ago, I remember when the older folks used to do prayers and puja. Even me, while I was now learning Panditai, while I go to the homes of people doing prayer, the older folks had this tradition. And I saw it coming from scripture. When you're having prayers and puja, you put on all your gold and your bera and your rings and your chain and everything, not so? We have this saying that when you live your life, you must live detached. So you detach and you don't need to wear gold and wealth and so on. No problem. As a person with that personality of detachment, all well and good. Do not become a victim of what you have. But what you have as wealth, when you sit to pray, when you sit before God, dress nice. Bring your wealth, bring your jewelry. Not for me, you know. But dress nice. It doesn't need to be here. But when you sit in your home and you perform a puja, dress nice to perform your prayers. Why? Because you're welcoming the entity, the energy of God in your house. The greatest energy of God is coming in your home. When you wake up in the morning and you're about to light your diya, you take your bath and you dress nice and you feel clean and you feel proper. Cleanliness is close to godliness. How you dress yourself is so you think and feel. If you decide to get up and you don't even take bath and you just decide to wash your mouth halfway and you stand up by God, you won't even feel clean and proper to pray. But if you dress well and if you take care of yourself when you come in front of God, you will feel the energy. When you prepare for yajna with all the preparation that takes place and you sit now for the yajna to begin, you feel good because you took part in doing something, preparations for prayer. When you prepare for your home puja and you take part, you feel something inside you. I did that. I want to feel the blessings now. If you didn't take part and prepare for anything, when you sit there, you take everything for granted. Because you never did anything to feel that appreciation. Tonight, scripture says, Bharata tells to the world, he says to all the people of Ayodhya, our Lord is about to come back. After 14 years, dress yourself, dress the streets, prepare yourself in the most beautiful manner, and let us wait for God. You see, everything will happen in the right timing. And while you're preparing, listen. Rama ho Rama re bhola mat jana, teri Ayodhya chor ke, ho teri Ayodhya chor ke. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Rama ho Rama re bol mat jana, teri Ayodhya chor ke, ho teri Ayodhya chor ke. Jai Shri लाया पल लाया तेरे लिए, फूल लाया पल लाया तेरे लिए, फूल लाया पल लाया तेरे लिए, फूल लाया पल लाया तेरे लिए, तुझको चराऊंगा वापस ना जाऊंगा, तुझको चराऊंगा वापस ना जाऊंगा, तेरी Ayodhya chor ke, लाया पानी लाया तेरे लिए, दूर लाया पानी लाया तेरे लिए, दूर लाया पानी लाया तेरे लिए, तुझको पिलाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, तुझको पिलाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के। क्या बात, क्या बात। जय श्री राम। एक लाया पात्र लाया तेरे लिए, 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 मंदिर बनाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, मंदिर बनाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के। क्या बात। It is said in our scripture, when you turn to God, you give it your best. And how do you do it? When you come from tomorrow, you're given the free opportunity. Just come. And when you're here, walk with any offering that you want. According to the bhajan, you know what? Prabhu says, I embrace the people who bring poolalaya, phallalaya. To those who bring flowers, to those who bring fruits, I feel happy. He says, dudhalaya, panilaya. You can walk with milk or even water. He says, ekalaya, patralaya. You can bring any leaves that you wish to offer. He says, dhupalaya, deepalaya. And you offer your agarbatti, your incense, and you wave a sacred light. And that is all it takes to make me happy. Prabhu says, all it takes to make me happy is a little offering, a flower, a fruit, some milk, some water, a leaf, agarbatti, and even an arti. धूपलाया दीपलाया तेरे लिए, धूपलाया दीपलाया तेरे लिए, धूपलाया दीपलाया तेरे लिए, धूपलाया दीपलाया तेरे लिए, तुझको देखाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, तुझको देखाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के। Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Tonight, devotees, when Prabhu Ramachandra was about to make his way, while he's on his journey, Ayodhya is preparing for welcoming Prabhu Ramachandra. We must prepare the body, the mind, the intellect, and the consciousness to welcome God. Prabhu won't just enter our life just like that. Prabhu won't just come unless we have that burning desire and the wanting. The saying that goes, God helps those who helps themselves. You must show the effort, and it's very little, effortlessly. You must show the little effort towards God for God to show the miracles in your life. You know what's the effort? You see, all of you came tonight. That was little effort. Because there are so many people who probably said, you know what, I'm going to be there. I want to get there. I want to reach there. But the littlest of thing becomes a problem when it comes to God. God tests your faith and He tests your patience. Scripture says today, while the entire of Ayodhya is waiting for Prabhu Ramachandra to come, they have lit their lamps on the streets. They've decorated their homes. They've taken bath. They've cleansed themselves. They've pulled out new clothing from their closets. Bharata has dressed himself wonderful. He has taken the chappal. He has taken now the footwear that Prabhu Ramachandra had given him. And he says, when the Lord comes, He will place back His foot in the rightful step, which will be the head of the kingdom of Ayodhya. And while he's dressed and he's decked and he's waiting for the moment. Guru Vashishya, the guru of the entire of Ayodhya, he comes and he stands and he waits for the Lord. He tells everybody, while you're waiting, be energetic, be filled with the energy and wait. Patience is virtue. Not everybody have patience. Not everybody could wait for long. With the mentality that we live in the world with today, with the illusion and the maya of the world, if you wait for more than 5 minutes, you get impatient. Not so? No matter what it is. If you have to go to the grocery and you stand up there in a line and 5 minutes pass, you get fed up and ready to drop back everything and go home. Not so? We live impatient in the world. No matter what you have to do in this world, it is said people are growing impatient. We are not taking a moment to dive within, to recover the peace and remember who you are as that bhakta. It takes, my friends, time to create the inner peace. While they're preparing for Prabhu to come, it is said, all the ladies of Ayodhya, they start now forming a procession. They started singing. They started now dancing on the streets. They will take the dub grass and they will take now the haldi and they will take fruits and they will take flowers and they will now decorate the place. They will take tulsi and pots and they will line the streets with tulsi mata to welcome the divine Lord. All the auspicious leaves and flowers and they will deck the entire place. And while they will prepare for the Lord, my friends, patiently they're waiting. Everything in the world has an appropriate time. Everything has timing. Sometimes we want it too fast, and if you wait too fast or you want it so fast and it happens quickly, it may not work in your honor and in your favor. When you're going to build a house, you go to your guru and you say, Gurudev, I want to build a house. Tell me, when should I start? And he will look at the books, he will check the stars, and he will say, you know what, I think you should start next month. And even if you say to him, so nothing next week, I want to do it next week, he will look and say, if I tell you not this week or next week or next month, it has to be next month. If you do anything before, you will have complications along the way. You will have setbacks, you may have delays, you may have disappointments, obstructions will come, and nothing will work in your favor. Timing is everything. You're going to purchase a vehicle, you talk to the guru first and say, you know what, I want you to check. I want to now purchase a vehicle. Should I buy it next week? When I purchase a vehicle, should I come home with it? And he may tell you different things. According to the ruling star of the day, he might tell you when you buy it, drive north for 5 minutes and then come home. There are little things that can create harmony in the nakshatras and the stars of the universe that can make things work in your favor. Patience is virtue. The right timing is important. Prabhu Ramachandra, he will come at the right timing, but while we are waiting, do not become impatient at mind. While you're waiting, keep the energy intact and allow it to be and allow it to flow. Today, while the entire Ayodhya is waiting in anticipation, Prabhu Rama, he's approaching in the air. Remember, he's coming in that Pushpaka Viman. He's coming in the air, and from way above now, he says, Devi, look, dekho na, Sita Maiya, dekho, look, Mahavir, Bajrangbali, dekho, my beautiful Ayodhya awaits me. He says, Mahavir, look down there. Paunaputra, he holds on to the hand of Prabhu Ramachandra. He says, Prabhu, is this where you were born? Is this the place that I met you a long time ago? As a child, Prabhu, I can't remember. But as a child, I came and I met you here. I know I met you here. The children will remember sometimes. Today I was looking at a baby in a puja. And the baby was looking around and the baby was looking and smiling with the people around. And that child was, I think, just about 8 months old. But the child is looking at everybody and smiling. And I was telling myself, at that age, the child doesn't know you, but out of intuition, out of that energy that the child picks up, the child knows automatically if to smile with you or if to cry if you look at her. Not so? There's some of the babies, they don't even know who you are, and when they look at you, they just want to come. They put out the hand like this. And there's some babies, you just have to say, hey, and the cry start one time. You just have to walk away and you go. They don't even know you, and 15 years down the road, you ask or you even think, can you remember who you looked at when you were small and who you smiled with? You don't remember anything. So what are they thinking when at that age they smile with you? It is not just thinking or knowing you. It is aura and energy that they are picking up. I feel safe with him or her, or I don't feel comfortable with that person. As a child, the chakras are born and open at that point to pick up all energies. In the same way with the energies, Prabhu Ramachandra, he is looking at Mahavir Swami. He says, do you remember? Mahavir says, no, but I feel connected to Ayodhya somehow or the other. It is because I was there. Suddenly, the Pushpaka is about to now take its course and is about to drop onto the earth. It is about to land at that most beautiful spot. It is about to stop at the spot where all the devotees have been waiting. It is said all the devotees of Ayodhya, they've prepped and they've dressed the place and they are ready and they're prepared to now have a wonderful time. The Lord is about to return. He's about to come back from that 14 years. And while he's looking down, the Pushpaka Viman is lowering to the earth. And while it's coming down, he says, Devi, look, my brother is there. Look at Lakshmana. Lakshmana, look down there. Look, Bharata, Shatrugna. Look at our mothers. They're standing on the balcony and they're looking at us. And they're coming down to the earth. And they're about to land, my friends, onto the ground. He's now looking at them and he's smiling. But in his mind, he's hurt. He was separated from them for so long. And he's waiting for that moment to look at his mother. He wants to go meet his mother. He wants to smile with his mother. He wants to hug his mother. He wants to, my friends, feel the love, the care, the affection, the attention that the mother had given him as a child. And when Prabhu Ramachandra, he reaches to the ground, he says, Mahavir, please step aside. I need to come down. And as soon as the Pushpaka Viman lands on the ground, Prabhu Ram runs down. He sees Bharata Bhaiya. He sees all the devotees of Ayodhya. They are dressed and they are decked and the place is beautiful. And he says, this is where I remember. This is what I remember. The joy of Ayodhya. The place is welcoming for me to enter. They've created this energy. And today, Prabhu Rama, he walks up to his brother. He sees Bharata. Bharata cries and he sheds the tear and he says, Bhaiji, aap yahan hai? And it is said, the beautiful embrace. They embrace one another. Gods of the skies, they are looking down at this moment. For this moment has been long awaited. Prabhu Ram, he embraces his brother. He turns to Shatrugna and he embraces his brother. And he turns around to the mother. And he sees his mother, Kausalya Maya. He sees Kekai Maya. He sees Sumintra Ma. And he walks up to them. He says, Ma. The mother's mouth, it trembles. After so long, she hasn't called his name. Ram, Prabhu, is it your voice that I hear? And while the mother looks with the eyes filled with tears, we have waited too long, Lord. We have awaited this moment for 14 years. We are living as though we are not alive anymore. But today I feel a spark of light from within us. And when the mother goes to embrace the Lord, Prabhu Ram, he falls flat at the feet of the mothers and he prostrates and he says, Ma, today your Ram has returned. Umapati Mahadev ki Ram se milo, Ram se milo, Ram se milo, hey Ram se milo. Shri Rama Ayodhya mein aaye, chalo re sake Ram se milo. Shri Rama Ayodhya mein aaye, chalo re sake Ram se milo. Ram se milo, Ram se milo, Ram se milo, hey Ram se milo. Shri Rama Ayodhya mein aaye, chalo re sake Ram se milo. Chalo re sake Ram se milo. का दुलारे राम लक्ष्मण जन का दुलारे हनुमान संग ने आए चलो रे सके राम से मिलो श्री राम अयोध्या में आए चलो रे सके राम से मिलो माता सुमित्रा आरती उतारे माता सुमित्रा आरती उतारे नयन नीर बहाए चलो रे सके राम से मिलो श्री राम अयोध्या में आए चलो रे सके राम से मिलो चलो रे सके राम से मिलो धूपदीपनय विद्याचारते धूपदीपा धूपदीपनय विद्याचारते उनको चरण पकाए उनको चरण पकड़ाए चलो रे सखे राम से मिलो श्री राम अयोध्या में आए चलो रे सखे राम से मिलो बोलो तुलसीदास कर जोरा कहता है तुलसीदास तुलसीदास कर जोरा कहता है हरि गुण गाते चलो चलो रे सखे राम से मिलो श्री राम अयोध्या में आए चलो रे सखे राम से मिलो चलो रे सखे राम से मिलो प्रभु रामचंद्र he goes up to Kekeyi Maya. He says, Ma, are you okay, Ma? And she says these words to him. She says, my child, my heart has been sinking in an ocean of sorrow for 14 years. And now that I've glanced my eyes on your form, I know now everything will be okay. In your life tonight, are you going through problems, troubles, distress, physically, mentally, emotionally, a crisis, some situation that has you down, depressed, negatively? All it takes is a glance of the infinite bliss of God to lift everything again. Where is your faith? If you're here tonight and your mind is troubled and your shoulders are burdened by the weights of negativity, then tonight before you go home, circle Mahavir Swami. Walk around Bajrangabali, touch his feet and speak to him. He will hear your prayer. He will hear your plight. He will hear your cry. And he will lift your spirit and he will lift your energy. All you need is a glance of the bliss of God. The mother says, my heart has been sinking in an ocean of sorrow, but today my eyes are blessed and I will be fine because I have faith in you, God. राम से मिलो राम से मिलो हे राम से मिलो श्री रामा अयोध्या में आए चलो रे सखे राम से मिलो चलो रे सखे राम से मिलो चलो रे सखे राम से मिलो चलो रे सखे ओम श्री हनुमते नमः ओम श्री हनुमते नमः ओम श्री हनुमते नमः वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की Beautifully it is said tonight, when Prabhu Ramachandra landed there, he walked up to his mothers, he walked up to his brothers and he hugged them. When last you give your brother a hug? When last did you give your brother a hug? When last did you give your sister a hug? When last did you hug your mother? Let me not talk my mother here tonight. I'll go hug you after. When last did you give your father a hug? Devotees, today when Prabhu Ram landed from the Pushpaka Viman and he walked up to Bharata, he embraced him tight and he didn't let go for a while. He turned to Shatrugna and he embraced him and he stopped. Not too far, Sugriv was standing there. Sugriv says, I envy you, Lord. My brother Bali, he fought me for a kingdom. My brother Bali, he wanted to kill me. You are lucky that your brother embraces you. Next to Sugriv, Vibhishan is standing there. Vibhishan says, Prabhu, I worship you, Lord. Your brother hugs you tight and he embraces you. My brother, he kicked me out of Lanka. What kind of family do you have? What kind of brothers do you have? Why is it that in many people's home, out of the littlest of things, children, they fall out and they don't speak? When you were a child, if you told your brother out of an incident, you told your brother, I hate you and I don't want to talk to you again. Mothers and fathers, maybe at some point they would have intervened and they would have said, no, this is not the way to live. Go back and give your brother a hug. They would have corrected you. If sisters would have fought, mother and father would have said, hey, here's what. That is not how it works here. Go and hug her up and tell her sorry. If you're wrong, you're wrong. There's nothing like wrong and strong. If you're wrong, you are wrong. And you fix it right there and then. How we say? You nip it by the bud. You stop the problem right there. You get down to the root of the problem. In life, when situations come and arise and problems happen, you go to the root of the problem. You do not go to the world and you advertise it. When you're going through situations in your home, go to the root of the problem. If someone is having a problem with you, give them a call. Speak to them. Work it out. Don't go everywhere and throw your messages on the streets and then come back and after everything, you come in and say, yeah, now we're going to make up now. And that time the whole world laughing at you now. You do not do that, my friends. A person of character keeps it all within. Solves it at the very moment. Sugriv says, my brother wanted to kill me. Vibhishan says, my brother kicked me and he's kicked me out of Lanka. Prabhu Ram, you are lucky that you can embrace your brother even in this day and time. Prabhu Ram turned to Lakshmana. Lakshmana is holding the bow and he has the arrows and he says, Prabhu, command me more, I'm here. And Prabhu says, Hare Bhaiji, we have come home. Be happy, we have returned home. Let loose your bow and your arrows. Lakshmana, turn to your family now. Go to your wife. She has waited for you. It is said the wife of Lakshmana waited for 14 years. When they were about to leave, she prayed to Nidra Devi, goddess of sleep. And she says, Devi, please allow me to sleep for these 14 years. The time that I'm supposed to wake, allow Lakshmana to wake for me. Allow him to wake on his waking time and my waking time too. And I will sleep for me and I will sleep for he too. And with that, allow him to do his duty. That is what he went for, to perform his duty. Lo and behold, when the Pushpaka Viman was about to land, after 14 years, the wife of Lakshmana, Urmila, she opened her eyes, sensing the energy. After 14 years, she opened her eyes to glance at Lakshmana. Prabhu Rama says, Lakshmana, I release you of the commands. Go and speak to your Dulahin. She has waited so long for you. It is said, Urmila, she walked up to Prabhu Lakshmana and she embraced him and she says, welcome home, my dear. Prabhu Ram, while standing there, the three mothers, they say, Prabhu, we must prepare for the coronation. We waited for 14 years and now we must prepare for the coronation. You will be the king. 14 years ago, you should have been this king, but it is never too late. Tonight, it is never too late to get something done. It is never too late to pray. It is never too late to learn something. We are never too old to learn, right? It is never too late to understand. It is never too late to create the humility in yourself and be humble as a person. Not every day we can fight and be strong and be wrong at the same time. It is never too late to humble and become simple in life. Simplicity is not about giving up everything and going in the forest to live. Simplicity is having everything around you and still being quiet and humble as that person that you are. Simplicity is owning the world if you must, but being simple at heart, at mind, and at understanding. Prabhu Rama, he's about to now go for the first time after 14 years. He's about to step his foot back into the kingdom. He made a promise to his father. Rago kolariti sada chaliyaye prana jaye var vachanu na jaye. Bolo Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Bolo Jaya Jaya Rama. After 14 years, even though Prabhu Ram, he destroyed Ravana, he never stepped foot in Lanka, into the palace of Lanka. He never stopped at anybody the kingdoms that he would have seen, because he made a promise not to enter any kingdom, but to go to the forest and walk barefooted. After 14 years, he will step his foot into the kingdom of Ayodhya. And while he enters, the three mothers, they say, Prabhu, come. We have to cleanse you for the coronation. We will give you bath for the coronation. We have to prepare you for this auspicious moment in your life. When somebody is about to get married, how do they cleanse themselves? What do? They rub down with something. Yeah, hardi. That night is called the hardi ki rat. Hardi ki rat. That night they rub down the dulaha or the dulahin to be with hardi. Why? Why do you rub down with the hardi? It is said the hardi cleanses. When you rub down that person to prepare them for that sanskar of life that is called a viva sanskar, you're cleansing them, you're rubbing them all over. You're supposed to rub all over, and while you're rubbing all over, you're cleansing yourself. Instead, what do they say? No, don't mess me up. Put your little thing there. Just touch. Alright, good. Don't mess me up too much. You're cleansing your body. The hardi has an aura that cleanses your body, your mind, your consciousness. So when you rub down, you're preparing for viva sanskar, cleansing. Prabhu Ram is about to prepare to become the king of Ayodhya. What happens? They're about to cleanse him. They put him sit down. Mother Kekayi, Kaushilya, Sumintra Maya, they've brought hardi and they're rubbing down the Lord. And they are now rubbing him like the hardi kirat, and they're pacing him all over. It is said the hardi has so much of essence in our lives. When the world had realized that there is a pandemic, what did we do? Jai Bhagwan. Where you couldn't find hardi, you find hardi, right? Everybody knew to make hardi tea. Everybody knew to grind or to grate the hardi and make a tea with it. We're not sure what they're going to do, but you know what? It's going to help. So everybody, every house I went to, they have a pot of hardi somewhere in a corner. Because we know that the hardi, the turmeric, it helps. It is said the hardi, I remember long ago when the older folks, if you happen to get in an accident, the minute you get in the accident and you come to, they go in and tell you to make, how you call it? Karha. They're going to tell you, make the karha tea. It is the hardi tea. Why? Because the hardi heals the inside. According to the Vedic books, hardi cleanses you on the inside. It cleanses you outside. Hardi heals cancer. It is said the hardi helps with gallbladder. It is said the hardi helps with sprains and strains. If you have a cut, a fresh cut, and you just take some of the hardi and you rub it on it, it heals faster than putting anything else there. It is said the hardi was used, according to Ayurvedic medicine, it was used to reduce inflammation within the body. If you have an allergic reaction and the body starts to become inflamed, with the hardi, it eases up and it cools down the inflammation. If you're having stomach disorders, stomach problems, if you're having diabetes and you need to control the diabetes, by making the hardi tea, you control the diabetes. If you're having excessive diarrhea, it is said the hardi tea helps with that. It is said to those who want to remove the antioxidants from the body, the negativities of the body, to reduce pain, bloating, pressure to the head, acid, bile. To those who want to reduce or get rid of gallstone, hardi. Ayurvedic medicine coming from the scriptures, the ancestors and the elders. That is why today you see so many products. There's face products, there's hardi soap, there's toothpaste, there's tea, there's scrubs, face wash. You see how I look in? Hardi. The hardi, my friends, it was known as Ayurvedic medicine. Prabhu Ram sat down there and they rubbed him down with the hardi. When they finished rubbing him down with the hardi, they then took sandal paste, sandalwood oil, sandalwood paste, and they paste him down. Sandalwood in itself, it smells nice, not so. The sandalwood paste, it is used for treating many things. Do you know if you get the bark of the tree or even the leaves and you boil it of the sandal paste, it is good for treating common cold. It is good for cough. It is good for throat. I don't know about COVID yet, but It is good for throat. It is good for bronchitis. It is good for fever. It is good for sore mouth. You know, long time. I remember getting it 1 or 2 times when I was sleeping by my grandmother's house. You wake up in the morning and all of a sudden you get a little sore here. And it starts to burn and it starts to hurt. And when you see that sore, they tell you something. What did they tell you? What did they tell you? I'll tell you what they tell me. What they used to tell you when you wake up and you get something there and it starts to now irritate you? What did they tell you? Exactly so. They used to tell you sometimes, they say a spider pee in your mouth and all kind of thing. When that happens, they wake up with a little rush and you wake up with something there. It is said to cure that, you put some sandalwood oil. Instead, they're telling you to do all kind of thing. Put some sandalwood oil. It heals that. If you're having issues with gallbladder, a little teaspoon of the sandalwood oil. If you're having heat stroke and the skin bursts out, you rub the sandalwood oil onto your skin and it's going to help. If you're having excessive headaches, sandalwood oils at the temple and it helps. If you're having heart disease, the sandalwood, the scent of it, inhaling it, and a little bit of it, tasting it, it helps with heart disease as well. It is said to those who are having muscle spasms, you're working hard and you realize all the pains are coming on, sandalwood oil and you rub down. If you're having disease and you're having fungus and bacteria in your feet or your hands or like a rash or something is coming on, sandalwood oil and paste and you rub it down and it's going to help you. All this comes from the book of Ayurvedic medicine. Today you have sandalwood soap. Today you have the sandalwood coming in all forms of cosmetics and perfumes and so on. If you get the real sandalwood, it's going to help. Ayurvedic medicine coming from the holy books, my friends, to help us and to guide us. And you can see it in the rituals that we perform, like the Hardi Kirat. And today, to prepare Prabhu Ram for the throne, they will rub him down with the Hardi and they will rub him down with the sandalwood oil and the paste. And after they were completed rubbing down the Lord, it is said at that point, they will then bathe him now with dahi, with butter, with milk, and then purified water. And they will cleanse the Lord. They will purify the divine Lord. It is said to cleanse the palace and the kingdom. They will take rose water and they will mix it now into water. And they will now wash the whole place. You all get remedy tonight. Take note. They will take the rose water and they will put it into the normal water and they will wash the place and cleanse the place of anything that is heavy. The rose grows with thorns. The petals in itself, it has energy coming from the stem that has thorns, that when you take the rose oil or the rose water, that which has come from the thorns, it removes the thorns of the home. It removes anything that is now piercing your home and piercing your life. It smells nice and it uplifts your energy. The rose water was used to cleanse the entire kingdom. And while it was used, at that point now, Prabhu Ramachandra, he has completed his bath. He has dressed himself. He's looking so wonderful. And while he's looking wonderful, today at this point, he's about to now dress himself. And how will he dress himself? It is said, while he will dress himself to go down to receive his throne, he will be decked in all his armor as a rightful king. And before he will take his seat, Bharata says, I want you to go onto the chariot and I want to drive you through the entire village of Ayodhya. Let everybody see how beautiful you look, Lord. How wonderful you've decked. When you travel and when you walk, allow the people to see how wonderful you look. You see today how beautiful Hanuman Baba is looking with his dhoti. Mahavir Swami is dressed so wonderful that creates energy in itself. प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सदन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे. He says, प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सदन हो. Everybody sees the Lord passing by and they will hail his name. Prabhu Ramachandra ki. What happened? Like something happened there or what? Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Prabhu Ramachandra ki. प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सदन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे। दर्शक बोले he's going through the village of Ayodhya, that wonderful city, and people come out and people take flowers and they're showering it on the Lord, and they're taking rice and they're showering, and while they're looking at the form of Prabhu Ram decked beautifully, their hands are like this or their hands are like this, and they're saying, Prabhu, I am blessed to glance my eyes at you. Tonight while you sit here, don't just sit like this, don't just prop the chin, don't just sit my friends, but put your hands together, clap if you must, worship the divine Lord, show the respect. When you show respect for God, in turn the world will respect you for who you are. प्रभु हर्षाएंगे, प्रभु हर्षाएंगे, प्रभु हर्षाएंगे। प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सदन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे। He goes around on the chariot, and while everybody glances their eyes, they are so happy to see their new king returning to Ayodhya after 14 years. As soon as the Lord had made his way and he comes back and he stops at this point, he steps down from the chariot. He's about to enter now into the palace and the kingdom, and in front of the doorways his guru is standing there. The guru looks at him, Guru Vashishta, and he says, today your father will be proud of you. मुस्काएंगे, प्रभु मुस्काएंगे, प्रभु मुस्काएंगे, प्रभु मुस्काएंगे। प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सदन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, 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 प्रभु मिल जाएंगे। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की। Tonight, bhaktas, Prabhu Rama comes down And when he steps down from the chariot, the Guru says, today your father will be proud of you. No matter who you are you living a life where your family, your mother, your father could say they are proud of you? If not, then buck up. To all the children, we do not need to live for expectations, but out of personal character, moral, value, ethics, by yourself, live a good life. Live a proper life. Give up the bad traits. Give up the negativity. The companies that we keep that may pull us down from time to time. Be elevated as a person that when people see you, they love you and they favor you. Be a person that when your mother or your father can speak about you, they can feel proud. Guru Vashishta, he says, Prabhu Ram, Raja Dashrath will be smiling from above on this day. And when Prabhu comes down and he sees the Guru, he goes on his knees, Hath Jodakar, and there he says, Gurudev, please bless me. Guru Matra Pita, Guru Bandhu Saka, Tere Charanon mein Swami, Mere koti pranam. Boliye, Guru Matra Pita, Guru Bandhu Saka, Tere Charanon mein Swami, Mere koti pranam. Tere Charanon mein Swami, Mere koti. I want to take 10 seconds tonight to do this. Our mothers and our fathers, they are our life. If your mothers and your fathers aren't alive tonight or they're not here with you, close your eyes for just 10 seconds and say that mantra. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akanda Mandalakaram Vyaptamena Characharam Tatparam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And if your mothers are here with you, next to you tonight, just turn to their air and say, Mommy, I love you. Yeah, my mom is here. Yes, Mom, I love you too. To all those whose mothers are here, to those if your fathers are here, don't leave them out. Don't let them feel one side. Turn to them and just say, Daddy, whisper in his ear. Stand up if you have to. Daddy, hear my voice. I love you, Dad. Mom, I love you. It takes 10 seconds. It takes little effort. It takes no effort. And if a child refuses to actually turn to mother and father and say, Daddy, I love you, Mommy, I love you, then you are ashamed of who you are. Then you are ashamed of your parents. Then you are ashamed of the mother who worked hard to give you everything. Then you are ashamed of your father who's standing day in, day out, working hard to give you everything. Then you are ashamed. Do not show that shame today. Turn to your mother, turn to your father, and just say, I love you. Jai Bhagwan. I saw a beautiful sight, Dev. You're blessed. Jai Narayan. Today, friends, while in our scripture, Prabhu Ram stands by the Guru. He says, Gurudev, please bless me. And while he's been blessed, he takes a step and he's going up now to the palace. And he goes up to the throne, but before he sits on the throne, he stands there and he turns around and he looks at everybody who's there. He says today, before I give a speech to Ayodhya, he says today, I want to say thank you to a few people. He says, Devi, thank you for supporting me in the forest. Lakshmana Bhaiji, there's no one else like you in this world. Thank you. He calls Sugriv and he says, Sugriv, today I bless you and your army. You can go back now and you can live happy, comfortable. Let the world know that Prabhu Rama has blessed you. Nobody can touch you now. He says, Vibhishan, you can leave when you're ready and you can go rule your kingdom. We have destroyed Ravana. You are the king of Lanka. He calls Jamwant. He calls some of the bears and he gives them many things. It is said he called for servants to bring wealth and jewelry, and they're giving wealth and they're giving jewelry for everyone. He's calling some of the monkeys and he's giving them jewelry and wealth. And as we know it so beautifully, it is said, Devi Mata looks at Prabhu Ram and she's now giving him the eye. You know, like if we're sharing Parasad and you forget somebody and nobody wants to say, but they're like, Devi Mata is, Are, you're forgetting the best one there. And Prabhu Ram looks at her and he smiles and he says, Devi, I know you like him more than everybody else. Because he found you. Because he brought hope into your life. Because he practically saved you. He gave you that pillar, that strength of everything that you needed when you needed it. Today, he turned to Bajrangabali. He says, Pawan Putra, come. Ow. And when Prabhu Hanumanji stands up to the Lord, he stands and he could feel on all ends. He says, Prabhu, just to hear you call my name every time, Prabhu, there's no greater feeling in the world like that. Prabhu Ramachandra says, go by Devi. And when he goes by Devi, Devi looks at him. And she turns around to one of the ministers and she says, oh, that one, bring it. This pearl necklace has been given to me and Prabhu Ramachandra as a wedding gift. This pearl necklace has come from the god of the waters, Varun Devta. It has power in it. It has strength in it. It has something that can eradicate negativity and protect you. Bajrangabali, ow. And she's about to place it around his neck. And while she's about to place it there, listen. Shri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama Shri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama Shri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama Shri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama. Everybody bolo. Jai Shri Ram. Bharata Kurohi, Bharata Surohi, Hanumat aaye, Sahita Pavana Sutta Bhuvan jaaye. Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya. Sunata Pavana Sutta, Sunata Pavana Sutta Gunati Kai, Bahuri Bahuri Kare Mana Kare. Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Oh Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya. bolo, everybody. Shri Rama Jaya. Kya baat? Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Today, Prabhu Hanuman ji, he receives that necklace. He receives it around his neck, that pearl necklace, that most precious necklace. And when he receives it around the neck, he starts to now slide it from side to side and he starts to look at it. And while he's looking at it, Devi says, don't worry, Mahavir Swami. It is a very expensive piece. It has come from the God of the waters. It is a powerful gem. It will protect you. He says, Maya, protect me. Main bal buddhi vidya. Only my Lord can protect me. He looks at it again and again, and we all know the kahani where Mahavir Swami, while searching everywhere, he could not see anything until he burst it. And when he burst it, at that point, Devi Mata, she was shocked. It is said at that point, Devi Mata became hurt. She was shocked at that point. Are Mahavir, ye kya hai? What have you done? Maya, 1 minute. He burst it and he started to pick up now one by one these gems. And he started to search in them. He started to look them in the eye. He started to look through from one to the other. And while he's looking, Devi says, Prabhu Ram, what is wrong with Mahavir today? What is wrong with your bandar? Talk to him. He will embarrass all of us. I've given him one of the greatest gifts, and that is what he will do. I know he's bandar roop. I know he's the form of the monkey, but he doesn't have to act with this monkey behavior in front of everybody. And while Devi Mata is looking at him, she feels ashamed. Are Pawan Putra, I can't understand. Batao, tell me, what is wrong? Maya, I have traveled the world. Devi, I left my spot at Rishimukh Parvat. I flew over the entire ocean. I went to the Himalaya. I went to Kailash Parvat. I went everywhere and I came back here. Devi, I don't need protection. I need my Lord with me. And today while I look at these beads, Ma, I can't see Prabhu in these beads. Ma, I can't even see you. And he bit one and he cracked it. And as soon as he bit it and he cracked it, he opened it in half and he says, look Devi, nothing. This doesn't have you, and if this doesn't have you and Prabhu Ram, what is the use? If your life doesn't have God, what is the use of life? When he turned to the mother says at that point, she says, what do I tell you, Mahavir? Today I feel ashamed. You claim that the beads do not have your Lord in it. The body that you have, it has come from the 5 elements. God is not there. The body is made up of the 5 elements, but you possess a body. How come you don't complain? He says, Ma, don't complain. Maya, this body has Prabhu Ram, and if this body doesn't have Prabhu Ram, I will not live. Ma, if the pores and my body doesn't chant Prabhu Ramachandra, then what is the use? I don't need to be alive. Devi says, your body has Prabhu Ram. He says, Maya, you doubt? Maya, deko. And he said he took his nails. And when he took his nails, he's about to now break now. He's about to now create now that spot. He's about to open his chest. And he's about to show the world that with God inside you, with God instilled in you, you can do anything you want in the world. You can cross the ocean of the sansar. You can cross the ocean of the universe. You can stand strong. You can be powerful. You can be protected. And he opened his chest, and it said within his chest and within his heart, you can see the shining form like a light you can see the form of Prabhu Ramachandra. You can see the form of Sri Sita Mata. You can see Lakshmana. And there out aloud, Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Prabhu Ram looked at him and tears of joy will flow from the eyes of Prabhu Ramachandra. Sita Mata, it is said she bent her head and she put her hands together. Son, I took you for granted, but today, let the world know your strength. Let the world know your power. I bless you, son. Whatever you want in the world, you can ask for it. He says, Devi, you want to bless me? I want to ask for one thing. Bless me that I never leave the sight of Prabhu Ramachandra. Bless me that I remain that child in your eyes and I remain there for eternity. For I do not want to go anywhere. And while the mother looks at the love that he has for God, everybody, all those who are around, they started to hail the name of Bajrangabali. Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki, Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki, Bajrangabali ki. Rama Rama Ram Ram Ram, Rama Rama Ram Ram Ram, Rama Rama Ram Ram Ram, Sita Rama Rama Ram Ram Ram, Rama Rama Ram Ram Ram, Sita Rama Rama Ram Ram Ram, Rama Rama Ram Ram Ram, Sita Rama Ram Ram Ram. Mahavir Swami, Pavanaputra, he opened his chest and he showed the world that God is with him. Prabhu Ram walked up to him and he took his hand. He says, bring some hardi and bring some sindoor. And he pasted it on his hand. And he rubbed it on the chest of Bajrangabali, healing him. It is said after his chest was healed with the hardi and the sindoor put together, the color became orangish in color. And he says, today, as I have healed Bajrangabali, that color, that mixture will be the Hanuman sindoor. The world will receive the sindoor of Bajrangabali on its own. And whoever receives that mark will be blessed by Bajrangabali. Ranjan Ram Ram Ram, Papa Vimochan Ram Ram Ram, Pashupati Ranjan Ram Ram Ram, Papa Vinochan Ram Ram Ram, Ananta Rakshak Ram Ram Ram, Appada Vandav Ram Ram Ram, Ram 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 Ram, Ram 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 Ram, Ram 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 Ram, Dasharatanandan Ram Ram Ram, Dashamuktamardan Ram Ram Ram. Dasharatanandan Ram Ram Ram, Dashamuktamardan Ram Ram Ram. Pashupati Ranjan Ram Ram Ram, Papa Vimochan Ram Ram Ram, Ram 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 Ram, Sita Ram 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 Ram, Ram 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 Ram, Sita Ram 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 Ram, Ram 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 Ram. अयोध्यावासी राम राम दशरथ नंदन राम। बोलो बोलो। अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। बोलिए बोलिए। राम 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 बोलो। राम 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 बोलो। राम राम राम। एक बार अयोध्यावासी राम राम दशरथ नंदन राम। अयोध्यावासी राम राम दशरथ नंदन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, प्रभु रामचंद्र की। With this, my friends, it is said when Bajranga Bali, he received that healing strength of Prabhu Ram, Prabhu says, I will give you your wish and your desire. You will never leave my side, Mahavir. I want you to know, and I want the world to know, that you will never leave my side. And if the world wants me to enter their heart, their home, their life and bless them, they must pass through you first. If they satisfy you first, I will go wholeheartedly and I will bless them. Wherever Mahavir Swami, I bless you today. Wherever my name is called, you be there. And you bless the people who sing for me. You bless the people who worship and adore me. Wherever your name is called and wherever it is called, be there and bless them, because I will bless them too. We will work hand in hand together. We will stand together united and let the world know that you can never separate Ram from Hanumanji. Today we are seeing a murti, a beautiful murti of Bajranga Bali, but we have created Ayodhya with the energy of Prabhu Ramachandra. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. With this, my friends, we end our message. Tomorrow night, we'll continue with the pastimes of Bajranga Bali. But at this time, we invite all to stand as we perform our arati. Remember, every night when we do arati, while the arati is being sung, everybody, you're invited to walk around Mahavir Swami. You can perform your pradakshina. You can receive your individual blessings. While walking around, you can ask for your wishes, your desires. Pray to Mahavir. जाके बल से गिरिवर कापे, रोग दोष जाके निकट न जाके। जाके बल से गिरिवर कापे, रोग दोष जाके निकट न जाके। अंजनी 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 पुत्र महाबल जाई, संतन के प्रभु सदा सहाई। देवीरा 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 रघुनाथ बताए, देवीरा रघुनाथ बताए, लंका जारी सिया सुधिलाए। संहारे, राजा राम के काज सवारे। लंका जारी असुर संहारे, राजा राम के काज सवारे। अजन अजन सतन के प्रभु सदा सहाई। लक्ष्मण मूर्छित परे सकारे, आनि संजीवन आनि संजीवन, आनि संजीवन प्राण उबारे। लक्ष्मण मूर्छित परे सकारे, आनि संजीवन प्राण उबारे। बैठी हो बैठी बता तोरे जमकारी, हे रावण के भुजा उतारी। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। आरती की जय हनुमान लला की, दुष्ट दलन रघुनाथ कला की। जय 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 हनुमान, 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 जय 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 हनुमान। बजरंगबली की। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। Tonight, as we join in this final one, we take this moment to wish a wonderful mother, Diane Jai Karanji, a wonderful mom. On behalf of your wonderful son, we wish you a happy birthday. Shri Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Kapivara Bahubalavan. Shri Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Kapivara Bahubalavan. Shri Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Kapivara Bahubalavan. Shri Hanuman. जय बजरंगबली। अजत महाकृति अति सुखधाम श्री हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय कपीवर बहुबलवान जय श्री राम जय बजरंगबली हो लक्ष्मण जीवन कारण वीरा लक्ष्मण जीवन लक्ष्मण जीवन कारण वीरा रंगित सागर सचिमति धीरा रंगित सागर सचिमति धीरा श्री हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय कपीवर बहुबलवान श्री हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय कपीवर बहुबलवान 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 उमापति महादेव की बजरंगबली की आसने जी सब लोग let us all take our seats and as we take our seats we conclude a beautiful night of devotion. We pray that the blessings of Mahavir Swami be with each and everyone. Bhagwan's blessings and Jai Sitaram.
संगीत प्रदर्शन